All right, let's jump in, man.
Cool.
So, welcome back, everyone. We are here for another episode of the podcast. Today, I have one of my favorite people back in the studio with us, Joe Shirley.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Mr. Primetime Men's Clinic.
That's what we're doing today, anyway.
How's it been, man? How's
good.
it going?
It's good. You know, I mean, obviously we've had Lush Med Spa for several years, and started Primetime. I know we've talked about it before, but started it. I guess really the concept was about a year ago. Really got heavy into it 5 or 6 months ago. Been pushing it pretty hard since then. Still not as much as I want to, but it's picking up volume. Things are going well. Seeing a lot of guys, and just love it, man. It's like it's different. You know, guys come in and they don't want to talk to a female about ED or their hair falling out or being tired, losing sex drive, that type of thing. So that's exactly why I did it. Like, I mean, you know, I'm not a doctor, not a nurse practitioner, really nothing medical other than own several of the businesses, but I'm just a sounding board for the guys. You know, I got a little checklist that the physicians made out and kind of go through it, and I'm really just an information gatherer, but it gives guys a chance to talk about some stuff that they might otherwise not want to talk about. And they're, you know, luckily with my age and how bad I've abused myself, I've been through everything that they're going through, and that's one thing that I'm able to tell guys is that I've pretty much been through or done everything that we suggest to you. So it's worked out pretty cool.
You do such a good job of putting the right people in the right place, though. You know, you say you're like, I'm just kind of the guy. Well, you know, you're the person behind the scenes pulling the strings. You're the person that people want to come in and talk to because you're so personable. Like, you've always made me just like, day one, I can talk to you about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, since first time we met, I mean, it was like, all right, cool. Well, you're my new best friend,
Yeah.
So we're going to keep doing this.
So we decided we're friends now. So
it's like little kids again, man. But you have such a great staff there. And, I mean, everywhere that you have a business, it's the same. Like, to me, it's that same experience, whether it's Lush,
very lucky,
wellness. Well, it's not luck. There's skill involved. That's the thing I think that you definitely downplay is how good you are at getting the right people in the right place and then putting a team together that really makes people feel comfortable, welcome. You know, myself, Rachel, all of that. You know, it's great. And I hear our clients that come through here all the time. It's like, no, I love, like, I'll go to try to tell them, you know, hey, if you're looking to do something, let's, you know, go into Lush, go check out some of these services. I mean, there's everything that you can do. And half of them already come to you guys.
Yeah, we're lucky. And sometimes, you know, people will say stuff like that, and I don't even realize that those people are clients. I wish I knew every single one of them, but, you know, part of what we do is making sure that they don't face everybody that they know when they walk in the door. They can do things with a little discretion, that type of thing, or we can shout it from the rooftops if they're cool to do that. But back to the people. Like, I do have some of the best employees or partners. I don't even like to call them employees. I call them teammates or partners, and it's really what they are. Heck, most of them make more money than I do anyway, so they might as well be partners. But back even all the way back to my UPS days, it was all about somebody there. One of our managers or presidents. There's a book about putting the right person in the right seat on the bus, putting the right butt in the seat on the bus is what I like to say. And I have been very lucky or blessed or whatever you want to call it of being able to get the right people there. And sometimes you have to go through several, but really, I mean, some of my crew have been with us since day one. Destiny's been with us since the day we opened the first clinic, and obviously Lori and Brandy have been with us since day one. Lori's a partner, but it's our group has stuck together. I think probably the least senior person I have has almost 2 years, and that's only because they just got out of school.
That's incredible. I mean, to me, like, when you look at businesses right now, right, that's what's one of the biggest things that you hear is I can't get people to come in at work.
Yeah.
People that come in, they're gone, right? You come in, do a week, and you're like, yep, nope, I'm out. But here you guys are, you're able to put together, you know, a solid staff of people that work together. You know, everybody's got the same mission. great at what they do, trained up. I mean, it's, look, nothing's perfect, never going to be, but you guys have it about as close as I've seen it for a place.
Yeah, and I mean, we like to make it, like a family, like a friendship. It sucks when it has to turn into, business things, and I'll whenever there's something that has to be done that's not pleasurable, I'll sit them down and I'll say, hey, I got to put my boss hat on right now.
Right.
Can't be your friend right now, but it it has its benefits and challenges. Trying to be a friend and a boss to everyone, but I'll take that over being just a forceful person where you rule out of fear. That's
right.
Never going to work.
Yeah, but I mean, it shows up when you see your people. When you come in, and you have something done, you can tell the people are there doing what they want to do. They're not, that they're happy. You can tell that it's a good place. They're doing what they want to be able to do. It just works. Like I said, it just gels.
I mean, when you start doing the things like I do, like a guy my age running a med spa, it almost doesn't fit, but you put the experts in there and you let them do their thing. Like, I don't know what they do. I dang sure can't do it better. Nope. Back when I was at UPS, it was like, all right, I felt like I needed to be able to do whoever I was supervising's job better than they did it, and pretty much could do that. In this business, you got to get over that. Like, it's hard to correct somebody on what they're doing when you don't really know how to do the job. But so we just, we step back and do it from a customer service standpoint. If the client's not happy, I don't care if you're doing it right or not. The client's not happy, so you're not doing something correct.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really put the client first. Client experience, everything. I know Rachel's been to Lush so many times, and she took, of course, she loves Christina over there. That's like one of her favorite people. We've known her for a minute, and she's just phenomenal. But she's had so many different times where she's come in and, she comes home she gets excited coming in. It's like that's her thing now, as she's realized that's like her self-care thing.
Yeah.
And I know she took advantage of the thing, like the one service a month for the year.
Yeah, that's a cool deal to really get in touch of everything that we do. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like you guys. It's all about that person. We may see 60 people a day where you guys see 2, but everything has to be about them. They get that hour and a half, and it's whatever they want, whenever they want it.
That's what I've learned coming into this. It's like so many people, they stay busy. They never stop, right? Especially a lot of these moms, right? We have the same client. We have the same people that come there that come here, right? You get a lot of people that they just don't get a chance to do something for themselves, whether, it's because they're a mom, they're running nonstop, or whether that's, a business person who's just nonstop doing what they're doing there. They make their time for themselves. They're going to invest in themselves and come see you for whatever service that is, whether that's you or myself. And, to me, it's like, that's, no matter what's going on in the world, that's the most important person in the world right there.
Yep.
Right. All focus goes into them, giving them the best experience. And so, like I said, you guys do a great job of that. I know that, I'm hearing good things from the men's clinic side of it as well, man. That's been fun.
So, we kind of started off talking about that, but I felt like it was just kind of a gap. I mean, Lush it's as unisex as you can make it, but when you're trying to make something beautiful and look like a spa, it tends to get a little more feminine than it does male. So I would see guys sitting in the waiting room, and again, not downplaying that at all. I love that side of the business, and tons of men still come to that side of the business. But for some of the core things, I felt like it was good to have a different door, to have a different look, something that just felt like a guy place. Mm-hmm. So when I decorated it, we made it look sort of like a bourbon bar / speakeasy kind of deal, and it's just comfort level. We just sit there on the couch and talk, or in a chair. You're not on an exam table. There's no exam table to be found. Half the time we'll do blood draws and everything else sitting on the couch, but it's just a comfort level for the guys. I mean, I love to see guys coming in Lush getting facials and that kind of stuff. Most people don't do that. I mean, if you've got 10 guys standing there, maybe 1 or 2 of them will really take care of themselves. But I mean, if you think about it, I think you and I might have talked about this the other night. Like, females have all these things that they can do and get to do to make themselves look better. They get extensions, they get eyelashes, they can wear high heel shoes or flat shoes. They can wear a dress or pants. You know, they can wear a shirt where their cleavage is showing or not. They can go conservative. Guys, I mean, like, we have pants and a polo or pants and a button down, and we have nothing else.
And a beard.
And a beard.
That's exactly why the fuck I have this.
A beard is solid. Mine just won't do it. But, you know, we have to be doing things to take care of the only things that we have. We got our faces. Mm-hmm. They got to look good. We got our hair, including a beard.
Yep.
We got our reproductive parts.
Yeah.
And we got our bodies. So, you know, you got to be putting the right things in it and taking care of that, because that's all we have to impress the opposite sex. And, I mean, nobody really cares if we have good attitudes or not, as long as you got good pecs.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, I mean, a girl can dress themselves up. Got a million different ways to do it to attract someone of the same or opposite sex, and we just got to do our part. And most guys feel weird doing that, but we got to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's a thing where I think a lot of people, especially the guys that would want to do it, it's like you don't even really know where to start, right? Like,
that's true.
Like, I think some of it's maybe in the education of it. A lot of guys don't realize that, you know, that's a thing. You got to take care of yourself, right? We tend to just, you know, half the guys out there still wash their hair with, you know, Irish Spring soap. So, you know,
Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, it's just old school one thing, you know, and so there's still I think there's definitely a mentality shift, right? More people are starting to learn and figure out, like, hey, I need to take care of myself, right? Not just right now, but also longevity, right? I still want to be doing this when I'm 60, 70 years old and feeling good, looking good. And I mean, I come from the standpoint of, even if you're married, like, you need to try to impress your spouse.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, how many times when you're working out, you want Amy to look over and see you looking
good?
When
you got a pump.
You feel good, so you kind of, you know, you want to be seen like it feels good. You guys still try to impress each other. And so I think even as men, like,
and
a lot
the
of
day
times,
you stop, you might want to question what's going on.
That's it. To me, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's that for Rachel and I specifically, man, like, it's been 100% lately of just trying to impress each other still. Like, and I love the aspect of that for this is it just because you're married doesn't mean that, you know, you don't need to take care of yourself.
Yep.
Make yourself look good, feel good. The better you feel, the more you're going to reciprocate that to your spouse. I think that's a huge
for sure. Yeah.
You know,
you have to feel better about yourself. You have to be happy in your own skin before you can even think about impressing someone else. But, you know, again, one of my philosophies has always been, if you think you're doing the best job at work and you can't do any better, or the day you think you look good enough or you're happy with what you got, that's when you need to question yourself, because the people that continue to strive and they're never satisfied, I'm not going to say unhappy, but they're never satisfied with the job that they do, the people they surround themselves with, the way they look, the way they feel. I don't ever want to feel like I'm to that point. I always want to work to try to be better.
I think it's those people that are always kind of trying to be better, grow, try to, you know, all of those things. I think those people are the ones that we typically look at and we're like, gosh, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, I want that kind of
motivators, movers, shakers.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it feels good, but it's like, what is it that you find, you know, about that attractive? It's the idea, right, of bettering yourself. I mean, you can do that throughout your whole life. And that's the thing that I didn't do early on, for sure. I mean, until I was about 30 years old.
Yeah, that's the bad part. If we would start recognizing that at 24 or 25, it's so much easier to maintain than it is to reverse.
Right. Yeah, I'm at that point, you know. I mean, I was 30 years old before I started ever trying to get my shit together. You know, like, I had a job, career, everything was going good by all accounts, but, like, I didn't work out, didn't take care of myself, you know. And it's like all that stuff, like, now where I'm super aware and I'm starting to take all these little steps and things, and it's like, wow, what a difference, right?
Well, and you don't realize the small things that you can do to give you that advantage and make it easier and give you that drive. Like, and again, that's another reason for prime time. Probably the major thing that we do is testosterone replacement, and that comes from, you know, guys feeling tired, not not having the drive, not having the sex drive, and then kind of all the things that go along with that, where they're not able to perform sexually. And I don't know, there's so many tools out there now, between testosterone replacement, from peptides, products that are made just for men now that just make it easy. You don't have to know a whole lot to get it happening. That's kind of why we're there now, is to make that happen. The whole biohacking movement, that's probably an overused term, but Gary Brecka and some of those guys that sit here at a table like this and just talk about the things that they do that make you the ultimate human. I think that's his line, not to steal it from him, but that's what we're striving, is to maybe we're not building the ultimate human, but we're taking normal guys and getting them back into their prime. That's why I called it prime time, getting them back to where they were. So it's cool as a lot of that starts to pick up, and it's kind of crazy. It'll start with the health freak, if you want to give it that term. Not really that, but I got a lot of guys that are into MMA and jiu-jitsu, and they're taking care of themselves. They also get hurt occasionally, nothing major, but sore muscles, sore joints, that type of thing. Well, a lot of those guys are coming to me for peptides, like, how can I recover quicker? Okay, now that I'm recovering, they'll kind of lead into something else. What can I do to be a little bit stronger? I don't want to do black market steroids or anything like that. So, we'll kind of back up and we'll take their labs, see where they're at. A lot of times they come back with low testosterone. They're in great shape, but they're still not feeling great.
That's something that I didn't realize, too, that you can be completely jacked, in great shape, and have all these things and still feel like something's off.
Yep.
And I think that for myself, a misconception about being in shape was that, like, oh no, everything's great, you're perfect, but it's actually really common to have low T.
For sure.
That.
Yeah, it is. I mean, almost every man that's 40 and above is going to be low, considerably low. I'm finding a lot of people in their late 20s and early 30s that are in the 200 and 300s, and really can't explain it other than just diet or just the way they treat themselves. They're not exercising enough, but they'll come in with testosterone in the mid 2s to low 3s, and that's normal if you look at LabCorp values and that type of thing. So your regular general practice doctor is going to steer away from it because you're staying in the normal range. And if we're doing labs on somebody and we analyze it and they're borderline, then a lot of times we don't do anything. We look at some alternative methods, some nutritional supplements, peptides, that type of thing, instead of getting on a testosterone. But if they're getting close to 40 and they're in those low range, they're a perfect candidate for some type of replacement therapy. We prefer pellets over shots just because they're bioidentical and a little safer for you. But there's most guys walking around that need it pretty bad.
I've got several friends that have done the pellets with you guys and have said, all positive. It's been great that they were thankful that they did that, for sure. I know, for me coming in, we talked about this a while back, and I was, kind of given the signs and symptoms of the, low T, and I was like, well, I just want to get my blood work checked, and so came in to see you guys, and I think I'm in the low 300 if I remember right.
Yeah, I think so.
And so, I'm 37 years old. I work out 5-6 days a week, but I also treat my body like a fucking amusement park, right? Like I drink all the time, maybe a little too much on the weekends.
Glad I don't have anything to do with that.
We should definitely talk about that one. No, it's great. Live life, have fun, but it's also like, where I was. I know that what I appreciate about you guys was it was like, okay, look, you are 37. Yeah, you are above, like, you're fine. You're in the right range,
you're
like
normal.
you said. Yeah, you're in the value of what that is. I think also as people, we probably could be shifting toward where maybe that's not the case. I mean, it's like, hey, we've always looked at it being that's normal.
I think it will change at some point.
Yeah, I definitely feel like at some point they're going to go back and say that's low.
Yeah.
I mean, because you feel that. But for you guys, it wasn't an immediate, like, hey, you need to get on this, let's do this, I'm giving you this. No, it was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do on something? And I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that for me. And it's like, okay, well, let's look at some of these other things here. Maybe we can, dial some of this back and do this and look here. So, like, super appreciative, man. You guys there's no pressure, there's no anything. I think everyone, all men need to get your blood work. First off, I mean,
Absolutely. Yep.
That's huge just for the rest of your life. You never know. I mean, it's how often do people get full blood panels done?
There's a ton of men that don't do it ever. I mean, I've got some guys that are awesome. They'll walk in, they'll have their labs in their hand, and they've been tracking it on a spreadsheet, and a lot of times they need just as much help as the other guy. But then I get so many, dude will come in, he's 47 years old, and I'm like, who's your regular doctor? Well, I don't have one. Oh my God! Yeah. Well, you're gonna have one today.
Right.
Whether you wanna join up with us and let us be your general practice physician and nurse practitioner, or you want to go somewhere else. But today, we're pulling labs on you. We're gonna make sure that you're okay. And a lot of times we'll uncover stuff. We'll have people that are borderline diabetic or cholesterol be crazy. Blood pressure's kind of easy. People keep a good check on that. Don't necessarily have to have a doctor for that, but we've uncovered a lot of things, and we don't do just the testosterone and peptides and ED and hair. We can also be your general practitioner too. The process is a little different. We move you over to the lush side and exam room and do full vitals and all that stuff on you, but we can take care of your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your diabetes, all that kind of stuff too. If it gets serious enough, we'll send you out. But that's one thing I really like about it. Like, a guy will come in saying, I'm tired, and he's 100% thinking testosterone. And we'll start talking about, what's going on. We're like, okay, let's go ahead and get your labs, and we find out he's freaking diabetic. Let's fix this stuff first before we start worrying about your erection, because it's not going to do you any good when you're dead.
That's true. And that's so awesome, dude, because, I mean, again, that's just you give guys a place where they can feel comfortable enough to come in and either ask for help or just say, like, hey, I don't really know where to start.
Yeah.
What's been you guys have really been just wide open from what I've seen. What's been the big thing lately that you guys have had the most?
Most success with. Now, the thing I'm most excited about is hair restoration, because, I feel like I've said it a million times. If a guy's walking around feeling self-conscious about his hair, it's such an easy fix, and it's not very expensive. So those excite me the most, because you see such an immediate change, and you take this 32-year-old guy that in all other aspects of his life, he looks great, looks perfect, but he's got 9 hairs on his head. So we'll start trying to rebuild that and get it going. It takes about 4 months, and you can see a considerable difference. And just keep that rolling. So that's exciting, but probably the most thing that we see, and not probably, absolutely, is testosterone replacement. Just because it affects so many things in their life. They're tired. They don't want to get up and get motivated. They're gaining weight. I'll have a guy come in and think he needs to be on weight loss. So we do a lot of weight loss with the GLP-1s and 2s and 3s. He'll think he wants to do weight loss, but all the other symptoms that he has is pointing right at testosterone. So I tell him at that point, like, why don't we work on your testosterone first? Because that's going to motivate you to get up and go to the gym. And when you go to the gym, you're going to be more productive because your testosterone's high. And everybody knows, back in the day, everybody would take testosterone to get bigger and stronger in the gym. We regulate that. But when you start seeing those results in the gym, it motivates you to do more. So I'll tell them, hey, let's start testosterone. After you get 5 or 6 months into that, if you want to consider doing weight loss to trim up, then we'll kind of add that too. Or some people hit it hard and do both at the same time, but it gets a little pricey doing it that way. But most of the time people come in for that. One huge benefit of that is the sexual benefits of it. Guys that they just don't have that libido anymore. I think you and I have talked about how that tends to affect the relationship too. You know, the wife thinks he's not attracted to me, or he's getting laid somewhere else. Like, you know, so it turns that desire back on for a guy. And a woman, to this day, I will say, they just do not understand the pressure that a guy puts on himself to perform. Like, if you're a little slow getting that erection like you did when you were younger, or it's just not the quality that you wanted anymore, or say it is and you're getting the job done, but you just want to be better. Who does not want to be better in the bed? Anyone?
That's look, that's a game changer.
Everybody wants to be better. So, you know, you're changing the whole dynamic of your relationship. When hubby gets home from work and he cannot wait to wrap his arms around his wife and tell her how much he missed her, and you know he's angling to get in the bed, but she feels that, man, and it changes her life too.
Oh, I couldn't agree with that more. I mean, we hear this all the time. You know, relationships feel like they're dead, and it's like you talk to people, and sex life is just non-existent.
Yeah,
I think that's like the first part of it, right? I mean, it's usually if I talk to someone and they're talking about, they're using the divorce word. You know, a lot of times, if you kind of get down to the root of it, it's like, oh yeah, we never have sex. We haven't had sex, but like once a month, or we do it once every 6 months, and it's like, okay, well, in almost all those situations, it's not attraction. There's an underlying cause.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how many issues could be solved if the two of you, first off, you got to have that conversation, figure that out.
Yep.
I think that's a big one. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. But, start figuring that out, because you talk to a lot of guys and it's, people in their late 30s, early 40s. It's like, well,
sometimes with young kids, they let that get in the way.
And so you start getting to that, and you start realizing a lot of these guys really, it isn't that they're trying to get this from somewhere else, but it really is that they're just, they can't get to that point.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, there's things you can do. Try that. Fix your sex life, and I can promise you fix a lot more in your relationship than you realize.
Absolutely. Life is going to get way better. And the girl, I mean, even the Bible says we have a duty to take care of your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take care of those needs. So it's biblical too.
Yeah.
But people blame it on church.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
But yeah,
I'm gonna go home and be like, hey, don't forget, church said.
Yes,
Bible
absolutely.
says we got
I got it right here in
okay?
black and white.
Yeah.
Hit the sheets. Now, I love that part of it, especially when either the guy or the female will come in and get hormone replacement therapy, whether it be just testosterone or that and estrogen. And when one of them's getting it and not the other one, and then next thing you know, about a month or so later, either the husband or the wife, whichever one, will come in with them. It's like, I'm having trouble keeping up. I want some of whatever she had.
Yeah.
And then they'll both get on it. And man, I've got one couple, I won't mention their names. I guess they're probably late 50s. And like, it is a staple. They will get hormone pellets before they will eat.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, it is just, he told me, he cornered me one day. He said, I tell you this, I will never allow her to go without it. He said, it has just completely changed my life. So I'm all for it.
See, I love it, man. That's the thing. People just don't, it's interesting. We live in like a time where people are, I think people are fairly open about their thoughts and their opinions on pretty much everything, except people don't talk about this. Yeah. And I don't, I guess it's like maybe people just don't realize how common this stuff is, I mean, I'm glad that we do stuff like this where you can sit and talk about it, and it's like, hey, everybody knows probably 20 people that they're struggling with something that could be easily resolved, and some of that's just communicating and finding the right people to come to and talk about it. So like if somebody wanted to come to you guys, what does that look like start to finish? Like, what's the easiest way?
Easiest way, website, obviously. PrimetimeMen'sClinic.com or Lush Med Spa. Medspas.com. I screwed that up. You'll have to fix that. PrimetimeMen'sClinic.com
Yeah.
or LushTuscaloosa.com, LushMedSpas.com, any of those. That's the easiest way. Get on there, click book an appointment, or call to book an appointment, either way. Just come in and see us. Telephone numbers. We've got billboards up. You can see that. Website's by far the easiest way to get there. Phone numbers, 833-633-5874. That gets you into us. But email us, website. We make it easy to get to us. Sometimes we don't answer all questions online about how much does something cost, that kind of thing. We do that intentionally because things are different for every person, like our weight loss. One person's plan might be different than another person's, and if we post something online, they think, oh, it's one price, or I'm not going there because it costs more, that type of thing. So you can't always find every price online. You can book online if you know what's going on, but just click that button to request an appointment, and we can get you in. And most of the time, especially on the men's side, since it's just me, I can get you in the same day or the next day, and we can have you on your journey by the end of the week.
That is awesome.
But it's fairly simple. Some things insurance will pay for. Some things they won't. It all depends on kind of how old you are, what your numbers are, if they're low enough. If we're able to have a real diagnosis and do right by the insurance company, we can get some stuff paid for by insurance. By far the fastest, easiest, best way is the cash pay options, but there are options out there to do insurance. A lot of my state and local guys, policemen, firemen, people that work at the university, they have really good insurance, and they always want to try that first. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
doesn't hurt to put it in.
No one else. I'm not doing a commercial, but there aren't many other people in Tuscaloosa that will make that statement. It's just cash based, take it or leave it. They don't want to go to the trouble of doing the insurance. But that's the great part about us being, we're a real doctor's office. You know, we got 3 doctors, 4 nurse practitioners. We can treat most anything on the general practice side. We've got dermatology. So we're set up with all the insurance companies. So we can always try that. It might not work, but we can always try it.
I love it. And that's another thing, I was going to say, is it, like I said, about the staff and the people you have good people too. It's not just like, oh, I just got somebody out here that can do the job. Like, you got good people that I would trust coming to, that we do talk to and have used for things. So it's, like I said, Rachel and I both have, raved about it. And so, so like if somebody comes in and they're trying to get on like pellets or something, what does that kind of process look like for you guys?
So usually that first visit's going to be pretty much informational. If you know that's what you want to do, or you come in kind of thinking about that, we'll go ahead and draw your labs that day. It's a real easy process. Takes 5-10 minutes at the most. We'll draw your labs. We'll get the results back usually within a couple of days, depending on whether we send them out or we do them here locally. We'll have all your numbers back. Brandy will typically text you when those come back and say, hey, your levels were at this, or they're unacceptable. You're a perfect candidate for hormone replacement therapy, or you may get the text that says, hey, can you come back in for a visit? And don't completely freak out about that, but you got something a little more going on than just hormones. So we'll come in and we'll work on getting that stuff right. But once those labs are back, we can typically get you in that week for a pellet insertion, or for an exam to look at doing shots. Shots really aren't available for women, but for men, it's an option. But we can have you started typically within that week, 2 weeks at the very most. You'll start feeling results after about 2 weeks. You'll peak at about 4 weeks to 5 weeks. We'll get you back in at 5 weeks and make sure that we got you to the level where the doctor thought you needed to be. If not, we can do a boost. It's very inexpensive. It's like $25 to get a boost if you need it, to make sure we get you where you are. And then after that first insertion, it's kind of cruise control after that. For women, it's 3 months. You come back in after 3 months and get a reinsertion. For guys, it's 6 months. So when I'm pushing them, to pellets versus shots, I did it for a guy the other day. He He was 33 years old, super low testosterone. He said, I just want to do shots. I'm like, dude, why would you not want to do pellets? I mean, they're exactly like what's in your body, bioidentical. You only have to do it once every 6 months. It's therapy that you normally want to stay on. You don't have to stay on it for your whole life, but you're going to want to because it makes you feel so much better. I said, you're going to take a minimum of 52 shots a year, and you're going to be doing it for the next 10 years at least. So you're going to be sticking yourself in the butt 520 times over the next 10 years. So is that something you want to take on? And a lot of times it'll change their mind when they think, oh, God, that's a lot.
It's a lot. A lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of thought. Yeah, I again, the people I know that's done the pellets that go that route, everybody loves it. Everybody's said it's been great for them. So
you get the benefits from both. Don't get me wrong. You can get into the whole talk of what's normal and what's optimal. We can make you optimal, above average with pellets. We got to keep you in normal with shots. So that's a big advantage, and not having to get the shots. But they're both effective. I mean, I'll try my best to talk someone into doing the pellet replacement, but at the end of the day, if they want to do shots, I'll give up. And if the doctor says it's okay, we'll do shots.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're presenting the most common sense approach first.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what works. Do this and don't have to deal with it again for a while. I like that approach. But also, you're still customer service based where, hey, if this is your preference and they're on board with that, then, again, this is about you. So do it as, how you want to do it.
I had a dude come in. He's a 3-letter agency with the federal government, and he was just bound and determined, I do not want to do pellets. I'm not doing them. I refuse to do them. I'm like, okay, why? Well, some of my buddies have done them, and they didn't really like their results, and I got a bunch of friends that are on shots, so I just want to do shots. I'm like, and he was talking like he was just at Burger King, and he was just ordering,
right.
and I'm like, first off, we're at a doctor's office. Right. You're only going to get what the doctor says you can get. If your testosterone's not low enough, you're definitely not getting shots, and you might not even be available for pellets. So let's slow this train down just a little bit, and let's talk about what you qualify for, what your body's saying you need. I mean, just because you want testosterone and your buddies are on testosterone doesn't mean that you're coming in here and ordering it. So, we always got to know what's available.
Hey, that right there says a lot, because there's people that would just be like, all right.
Yeah, make the money. Hey,
what you want, don't care.
Dude, that's a controlled substance, and I do not want to go to jail, and I promise you none of my physicians want to go to jail or lose their license.
What, with you kind of being at the forefront of this whole men's health thing, and I know it's a big movement right now for all of this and people kind of getting themselves together, is there any new trend or anything that you're seeing coming, something?
Peptides. I mean, peptides are blowing up. The scary part about it is anybody can buy them on the internet, but you just can't do that.
You never know where that's coming from.
During COVID, people buying ivermectin at Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
How stupid was that? Well, someone will be ordering from whoever.com and getting peptides and trying to dose themselves.
Yeah.
And the whole time saying, that idiot went to Tractor Supply and bought ivermectin.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing or worse. So
there's a massive difference between ivermectin and Tractor Supply's.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to be okay, but there's a big chance you won't. And just knowing how to dose yourself, knowing that you're dealing with a clean product, and that you're not putting yourself in jeopardy. And by all means, if it says for research purposes only, unless you're doing research on your body, I don't think it's a great idea. So that being said, peptides are super popular right now. They are great. I mean, what they are, they're, what what a DNA looks like. It's built out of amino acids, and it's a little piece of that, and you're plugging in something that your body's missing or it does not have enough of. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know the science of it, but it's some cool little things that you can do, and it's all micro dosed for the most part. And people are just tweaking the things that they want to. It's almost like a menu. If you've seen those menus where you build your Bloody Mary in the mornings at restaurant down the street, where you're choosing bacon, you're choosing okra, you're able to go in here and go, well, I'm having joint pain. I'm working out, but I'm not seeing enough growth. My skin looks bad. It takes me a long time to recover. You can kind of go through there and check that checklist, and if you do enough studying and enough research, there's a peptide that's gonna fix that for you.
Just like true optimization. Like I mean, it's just
at a minute level, and it's cool. I mean, people are tweaking. Everybody sees the stuff. I don't know if it's just because it's the industry I'm in. My feed just blows up with these 55-year-old men that are just ripped, and they're perfect, and they got it figured out. They're dosing themselves. They're getting good product from good places, and the biggest thing that I want to say about it is that my buddy Jim was in here earlier, and you heard him. He's like, "Man, we just can't touch that stuff that we don't know where it came from." Every product that we have that comes in, it basically, you're able to see its pedigree. Where was it made, every hand that it went through, and where the raw materials came from. So we're able to pedigree every peptide that we have that come in. And if you can't do that, don't take it.
See, that's tremendous, because that right there, like, you just never know where you buy this stuff. You just no idea what's going to be in this. No idea where that's coming from, what lab, how, what country. Do they even give a shit? Are you even getting what you're getting? I mean, when you're talking about, it seems counterintuitive to just buy some random shit to try to make yourself healthier and better.
Yeah,
like,
and ask yourself, are you qualified? Do you have any letters behind your name that makes it okay that you could be buying something and putting in a syringe and shoving it in your belly or in your butt? Yeah. Like, if you don't have those qualifications, why in the world would you? I mean, I'm going to get them from someone that knows what they're doing, and I'm not that guy. Right. Somebody might be listening to this and go, "Well, Joe, you just said you're." Yeah. But you don't get anything from me that has not been ran past the nurse practitioner or by the doctor.
Yeah, that goes through your staff.
Yeah, that goes. I can't even get on the website. There's not a single one of the websites or pharmacies that I buy from that has my name on it. It has my doctor's name on it because that's who it has to go through. Right. So if you're able to buy it, you might want to question it.
Yeah. Hey, that right there is very well put. Because that, I probably hadn't even thought about it that way. But, I mean, there's going to be some form, like there's going to be something you need to go through. You need to at least jump through some type of hoop to make sure that you're getting the right stuff. Because, the last thing you want to do is try to optimize yourself and end up in a hospital somewhere. I mean,
you're buying it from Biff at the gym.
Yeah.
You end up with your ass rotting off more than likely.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay without that. So, so last thing I was going to kind of talk about, man, before we get out of here, I like the new thing you've been doing on Mondays, the Manscaped Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so came in, that was awesome. So it was Tian, I believe is who did that. Yep. And she does the head spa stuff you guys are doing.
She does. So she's our masseuse. She also does head spa at Lush.
Okay.
And she's I don't know if it's what she did in the past. She used to take care of a lot of guys, grooming them, I guess, for lack of a better term. And she wanted to start this whole thing. She calls it Manscaped Monday. And it's a cool vibe. We've got it, we kind of got it fixed up like prime time. Got a little cooler in there with a beer or some of our bourbons and stuff if you want to taste them. You come in there, you get your hair cut and a straight razor shave, which I had never had one in all of my 39 years. So I got my first one a couple weeks ago. She was kind of selling me on the deal, and it's just cool. Yeah. I mean, I think you came and did one.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So, it's funny. You know, you think guy with a beard, you know, I don't let anybody touch my beard, like ever. Like Rachel does not mess with my beard. She knows, and when she hears this, she's gonna go, yeah, checks out. And when I came home, she was like, wait, what? She got to do all this, and I don't even.
Oh,
and
yes.
I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, well, she's a professional, okay. Yeah. So first thing I'll say, like she was awesome. So cool because I really didn't know what to expect. You know, we had talked about this, and you were like, hey, come check it out, and so ended up with my haircut, which was, again, I've gone to the same person for years, and I love my guy.
Yeah.
But she did a phenomenal job. My hair was growing in a really weird way where, you know, and not really going to see much here, especially because I washed it today, which I didn't know that's a whole thing till now. You know, you become a boudoir photographer, and you end up, you know, with a wife, and you have 2 daughters, and you start learning, oh, you're not supposed to wash your hair every day. You know, that's so hair wash day is a thing. That was this morning, but my hair had grown out really odd, and I was going to try to let it keep growing, and she's like, well, let me just get in there and let me just kind of perfect. Like, she hit it absolutely perfect. Cool. Got it trimmed up off the top where it needed to be. She's like, it looks like you have 2 different haircuts right now, and which I kind of did. And so she fixed that. She shortened the beard, which, again, I have one person in this world that I let
touch it.
And she trimmed it up perfect. Did the straight razor, the hot towel.
Yeah, and it smells good, feels good.
That hot towel will fuck you up because then you don't want to do nothing after that. And I didn't. And then so I'm in there. So I had and it's not just bourbon. Like, I mean, you have Blanton's. You had, what was the other?
Yeah,
the Weller.
Weller's a really good one. Widow Jane is my favorite.
And I mean, just awesome. So I'm like, I'm sitting here, you know, got good bourbon, and then she's doing the hot towel, and then she's massaging the face. I mean, it was like a full hour.
And even the shaving cream's different. You know, she's putting it on with that brush like you used to see in the old TV shows, and it's cool. And the first time she did it on me, we didn't have the stuff like to scent the towels, but she's got that now, and it just smells good and feels good, and your face is smooth as a baby's ass.
I was not, so as somebody that never puts a razor on my face, obviously, that was fun. Like, that was like, she got it in there, and I remember like leaving, and I was like, God, this is so smooth. And it was a couple of days ago, that was Monday, today's Thursday, and it's just now kind of coming back in.
Yeah, it takes a little longer. It sucks that it comes back at all, but and we can fix that with laser hair removal if you want to. I told her, I was like, when you're doing this, sell them on laser hair removal. I like
that. Hey, that's a good one.
But it is a really great experience. You should come try it out. It's on Mondays. We're doing it over there in Northport. You can book that with primetimemensclinic.com or with Lush Tuscaloosa and get that booked, or just call or text me or just make that work. But it is it's a nice thing for the guys. It's not very expensive. I mean, even the guys that don't like to splurge on themselves, you know, it's $50 or $60, something like that, and you get a good hour there of just chilling and everything being quiet, and it's a great Valentine's Day gift for men. We're doing gift cards and that kind of stuff for them. Instead of getting them a stupid shirt or flowers for your wife or some kind of crap, give them something that they really want.
Yep, that's been Rachel and I's thing lately.
Yeah,
try to get little different services for each other and stuff, you know. So.
Well, and it helps you too. Like, I told somebody in my B&I the other day, like, wives, get your husband a testosterone check, and you're really buying yourself something.
That's it.
Because he's going to come home
ready
chasing
to go.
you, and it's going to be, as my line says, bigger, faster, stronger, and that's a gift for you that you just bought yourself.
I freaking love it, man. Well,
thanks again.
Look, buddy, I'm excited that we got to come in and do this again. Got anything that you want to plug? Anything new?
No, you guys and us. Just my people need to be coming to see you, and it's just like, you know, we talk about sex. People think it's all taboo, but it's about taking care of your partner. 99% of the women that are coming in here are doing it for a guy. Doing it for themselves, but they're giving it as a gift to someone, and it's about empowerment. It's about taking care of yourself, feeling good about yourself, walking out with your chest up, and your shoulders back, and, you know, never back down kind of deal. And we're both in the business of doing that, and I love seeing it work.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's all about doing something for yourself, feeling good. And, I was talking about this morning with our client. I was like, you get somewhere, you get online, and everybody tries to make it out like we're all these just completely different people, and everybody hates everything right now, and it's just awful and shitty. And then you get to have actual conversations with people, and you realize everybody just wants the same thing.
Yep.
You just want to feel good. You want to be able to be happy. Good sex life, like you said, bigger, faster, stronger,
Yep.
all those things. I mean, we're not all that different at the core. Just want to be happy.
Yeah.
That's
the rest
what we're
is basically white noise.
Yeah, we're in the both of us are in the business of trying to make people happy, make them feel good, make them feel better, and give them something that they can carry day after day. So, but
Appreciate
like I
it,
said,
bud.
brother, it's good to have you back in.
too.
We'll make it happen again. I appreciate everybody that listened. See y'all later.
Bye.